I'm Craig Collins. I'm the head brewer at Red Clay Brewing Company, and I'm from Opelika, Alabama. I've always kind of had an inclination to work in the brewing industry. At the time that I was home brewing, I was working in TV and radio. So on the side, I would home brew, and I just got really immersed in the culture and the background of brewing. It all kind of just came together when I came to Opelika, that this brewery opened up, and I looked at it and said, well, why don't I apply and see what happens? And I went through the Auburn Brewing Science program from there, and this is where I'm at right now. Going to Auburn is about networking. Like I said, it's about learning more about the brewing process, but as I said, networking. Beyond that, you're able to pull from people with a wealth of information. That's the biggest thing that I've gotten out of it, like I said before. And as you know, home brewers, you can always continually improve your brewing process. I think that's a continual evolution. You know, a lot of those professors can direct you in the right way.
Well, the very first step of the brewing process is understanding what kind of beer that you want to make. And in Red Clay Brewing Company, the first thing we look at is water profile and also the grain bill that we're that's actually gonna eventually produce the beer. The very first step in the grains is to go into our mill right here. We're gonna crush the grains to get to the center of the grains, to get to the sugar and the enzymes. Step 2, the brewing process, we start with our base water. So here at Red Clay Brewing Company, we're very fortunate and to have a RO unit here, able to filter out a lot of some of the impurities that might be in your tap water. It's safe to drink, but for brewing, we want to strip it to a 7 pH. Step 3, we're gonna fill our mash tun with water. And here at Red Clay, we've got hot water on demand, which is really nice. We'll go from 165 to 185 degrees in minutes. And then we go into our mash tun, where our grains are gonna rest for an hour and a half to extract all the sugars off the grain. So step 4 in the brewing process, we've taken our grains and we mashed them to make basically a sugar water, or what we call wort. The wort goes into our can for a pump, and we'll boil, and we'll take out some of the impurities and add the hops into the boil to make the final product. So the next stage in brewing is chilling down the wort after we've boiled. We chill down the wort, we have a heat exchanger. In the heat exchanger, we can go from about 200 degrees, so 200 degrees or so, and we go all the way down to about 50 degrees or 70 degrees, depending what kind of yeast you're going to be using in the beer that you're trying to produce. So here at Red Clay, we've got this pretty sizable chiller. It's a massive amount of heat exchange if you think about going from about 200 degrees to 50 degrees in a matter of minutes. So we've created a wort and we've chilled it. Now it's time to pitch our yeast and make beer. Okay, so now we have beer after about 2 to 3 weeks. The last step in the process is kegging, so we can get it out to the tap room. So this is our canning line. The cans go through here and the chute, come out through here in the rinser, and go through a CO2 process, which CO2 is an inhibitor of bacteria. And so then it goes through our fillers here, and then it gets stamped with the top and out the other side here. We got our final product and we're ready to pour.
For me, it's about giving people hope. You know, you get all kinds of different kinds of people that walk into the bar. There could be a guy who won the lottery and just a millionaire and just want to celebrate with a beer. Another person who's just down on their luck and just needs a little conversation. That's kind of what drives me, is the hope that breweries give to a community.